Ozan Kabak jury has never fully been sworn in, mostly because Liverpool cannot afford to have one. In times of desperation, judgment has to be reserved and instead replaced by hope. That in many ways is unfair on a player who is yet turned 21 and in a different country suddenly thrust into the crisis that is Liverpool in 2021. Therefore, it became a case of wait and see. Yet on Liverpool.com press view call with David Lynch on Monday, he and Dan Morgan spoke about potential summer transfer activity of a club without European football, and whether that has implication on what they do at centre back, particularly with Kabak. When speaking about Kabak, Lynch stated that a permanent transfer increasingly looked to me like a deal they don't want to do. He said, "The fact is an option to buy. I'm not convinced they fancy him. Over the summer I was never convinced he was a player they wanted to sign. It was more of an agent talk thing. The fact he was available is the reason he's at Liverpool at the moment, and I personally don't think he'll be a Liverpool player next season." He also thinks that Liverpool's long-term targets could still lie elsewhere. It's nothing to do with how he's played. I just don't think Liverpool fancy him. Caleta-Car looks a more likely long-term option. It wouldn't surprise me to see them go back in for him this summer. The narrative around Kabak in this sense might seem harsh, but the reality remains he's a loan signing of which Liverpool have no obligation to buy. If another target become available, a decision will have to be made. The clamor for Liverpool to sign any centre back in January was so swollen that the club ended up doing just that, but ensuring they had enough room for maneuver at the end of the season. Should they decide it's a deal which isn't going to work for them, Ozan Kabak will not be judged this season. The problem remains that this might be the only one in which he can.